Hey, what is up, internet? It's Tuesday, Twilight Malediction. I'm with Frostmaiden campaign here on GrowedUpGeek Gaming. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, episode 6, A Mercy is what we're going to title this episode. A lot to get to, really exciting stuff. Before we do that, let's get to meet the players and the characters they will be playing tonight. We will start with Dustin. Tell us about Kelroth.
My name is Dustin. I am playing Kelroth. He is a half-elf cleric, level 2. He is of the life domain, so he is sort of the party healer. And yeah, he's a bit of a pacifist, doesn't really like to get into conflict, but he's here to support the group regardless.
And so far, the DM has been balancing combat encounters just fine knowing that. Yay. All right, awesome. Yeah, we'll see if we can throw some stuff at you so you can compassionately take care of it. Let's go right upstairs from you to Lewis and Baldr.
I am Lewis. I am playing Baldr Ofandris, who is a resident court Azamar monk, and he's ready to prove himself.
All right, nice, cold. Proving yourself to the people of Icewind Dale. Fabulous. All right. Down on the next column, we'll go to Landon and his little gnomish buddy, Orryn.
I'm Landon. I'm playing a rock gnome artificer named Orryn. He's had a lot of fun meeting a lot of new people, but he's especially excited to get the iron over to Bryn Shander for a big discount. Something he's been hoping for, so he can upgrade his tools at a nice discount. But that's about it for him.
All right. I mean, whether it's stolen or found, whatever. Potato. It's you guys are returning.
He just cares that he gets the benefit.
Who cares where it came from? We're just gonna give it to these dwarves.
Exactly.
Fine by me. It's more interesting that way, anyway. And last and not least, we will go to Tenta and tell us about Jaatuuli.
I'm Tenta. I'm playing Jaatuuli Lohikarme. I'm the ice lizard folk barbarian, and I went to bed last night with the taste of goblin blood on my lips, so I was a happy man.
It's really turning into a theme here with you eating stuff, and I'm fine with it. It's cool.
I'm a biter.
Hey, give you a love interest and see if that makes anything a little more interesting. All right, so I am Manny, your host and dungeon master this evening at GrowedUpGeek on the social medias. And yeah, let's get to it. So last week, the party, aided by the spirit of East Haven, marched out across the frozen lake to a series of caves where they rescued the local kidnapped fairy family. Along the way, found enchanted cookery, killed some drow, fought some goblins, attacked a polar bear, dragged people and iron through the snow. Yeah?
Yeah.
So quite the physically taxing session. After a long time away, they managed to return the family to East Haven, met with the speaker ever so briefly, who was given the cauldron of plenty by the party so as to allow the people of East Haven to kind of wrest control of its citizenry away from the temptations of the cult of Orryn. The party finished the session taking a long rest at the friendly White Lady Tavern. And we'll pick it up there sometime in the morning. Everybody's going to be in their rooms. We'll go to everybody individually for what they're doing. But as you're kind of stirring in the morning, you hear pattering of feet coming up and down the hallway on the second floor near your rooms, and a little bit of a commotion going on in the common room of the White Lady Inn early in the morning. We'll go to everybody individually for what you're doing. Basically, when you wake up in the morning, we'll start with Jaatuuli. What's Jaatuuli doing in the morning?
So Jaatuli's kind of sitting up on the bed, sharpening his axes with the whetstone, and he's looking outside the window, and what goes right by the window is a big white bird. And he stands up and walks over to the window and kind of looks at it and thinks to himself, that's it right there. That's what I aspire to be one day. Free to fly like that bird. And he kind of just sits there in a moment of thoughtfulness while finishing up sharpening his axes.
Okay. Like I said, the whole time you're sharpening your axes, there's like a slight little commotion, hushed voices, and a constant like running up and down the stairs and up and down the hallway outside of your room that may be the halflings you met the other evening. We'll go to Kelroth. Early in the morning, pitter-patter of hairy little halfling feet shuffling about the joint. And what's Kelroth doing in the morning?
Nothing in particular. I will, if I hear some like noise and commotion, I will peek my head out my door and see what's going on.
Outside, you see most of the halflings you recognized from the evening before. In their hands, they seem to have most of the odd little trinkets and odds and ends that were on the table when you sat down for the seance. Almost as if they're getting ready to set up shop at their table again and possibly do another seance or whatever it is that they do.
All right. I'll just address them. I'll be like, hey, what are you doing out here?
It's they kind of ignore you, but one of them recognizes you from the night before. After rescuing those people, the lady, she needs us to contact her. We deserve a blessing. We brought the people back. And then he kind of ducks off and continues to go in and out of the rooms, grabbing stuff and kind of working
Okay,
this.
as he walks away, I'm like, you didn't do anything.
We brought her here, and you hear him like as he clunks down the stairs with an armful of like seance stuff.
All right, I will like get my bearings and get my stuff together, and I'll head downstairs, kind of be the first, ready to go. I'm going to sit and very pessimistically look over at the halflings as they set up their stuff, it's like arms crossed.
Okay, we'll get to you in just a second. Orryn, what are you doing when either before or right after Kelroth kind of hassles the halflings? Alliteration.
So Orryn spent his morning kind of very concentrated. He had earmuffs on to prevent hearing the footsteps, and he was tinkering around. So what he did was taking one of those crystals that we found at the caves, the Cauldron Caves. He infused magic into it, stored magic to run a little mechanical servant. So it's got some wings and 2 arms. It's tiny, it's small, but he's very happy. You know, he just finished it, so he like throws off his earmuffs and he like picks it up, and, like runs out the door to show it to people, and they look kind of unimpressive because it kind of looks dinky and everything, you know. But he seems to really like it. He's like, Kelroth, look at it. What should we name it?
It's like, does it need a name? What is that?
This is my new mechanical servant, or homunculus servant.
Your servant.
Yes, he will help us as we journey through. I learned something the other day. Why go into a wolf's den when you can send a servant in instead?
Oh,
This
that
guy
is
can
okay,
go
yeah.
scout ahead for us.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. I thought you meant like servant as like cook you a like mini breakfast, like make a little tiny breakfast, tie your shoelace. I don't know. It's a pretty small servant.
Orryn like grabs his book, starts taking notes. He's like, "Yes, yes. Any other suggestions?"
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe one day, an appropriately sized servant to service your needs. What is it? It's like this big. It's like
Yeah, it's
okay.
pretty small.
I'm like, it's cute. It's cute. It looks, yeah, it's cute.
Orryn says, "It's like something much larger than this would require a whole lot of magic. I would really need to
of course.
concentrate. But for now, this will, I'm sure this will be very helpful to us. At least, I'm pretty sure I won't be walking into a wolf's den anymore. I can tell you that."
Very good. Very good.
He runs around just like showing all the halflings, trying to. He thinks it's cooler than they think the seance is.
They appreciate you from your enthusiasm the night prior with wanting to do the seance, but they don't really understand what you have, and they seem pretty committed to what they're doing. They're really setting up shop. They've got everything, candles, like a nice like tablecloth, the whole seance 9 yards, as it were. So you're gonna kind of stumble around and then basically go downstairs with Kelroth?
Yep.
Okay. And we will finish up with Baldr, yeah. What are you doing in the morning with all this shit going on outside?
So with all of the noise from the people running up and down, you just kind of like go into my room and you see me sitting on top of my cloak, deep in a trance, just finishing up what seems to be like a conversation almost to myself. And you hear, "Master, it's been some time since I've heard from you. I believe I know now why you sent me here. I believe I know what it must be for me to be accepted into the order. I hope to prove to you soon that I am ready for this." And then you just kind of see my eyes open up, and I just kind of stand up and put my cloak on and open up my door and walk out.
All right. As you all come down the stairs, the same barkeep from the night before, it is definitely the same halflings as the night before. And seated at the same table with the halflings is a somewhat disparaging dwarf who wants no part of the halflings' seance, despite their insistence. Kessel seems to be sitting there, just not wanting anything to do with them. And as you come down the stairs, he kind of gives you a longing look to come save him from these little tiny big-footed weirdos.
All right. Jaatuli's going to kick the door open from his room and come out and pop his neck, go over and sit right behind Kessel, stick his head over his shoulder. "What are you up to?"
These little halflings want something about a seance. I'm a dwarf. We don't do this nonsense. Plus, everybody's telling me it didn't go well last night. Some crazy people agreed to this and poltergeist appeared, and then they ran out the window. It's too early for this. I don't want any part of this.
Didn't go well is an understatement.
What do you
should stop them.
What do you know about it?
Oh, I know a lot about it. I decided to let my guard down and try something new, and, well, a poltergeist showed up.
At this point, the halfling Ronaldo, who led the seance the night before, interjects. Yes. It was a great success. We rescued the people, and she went back to sleep. We just need to summon her now and get the blessing that we're owed for you rescuing the people. This is it's a new day in East Haven. We have to embrace this. Join me with
Orryn
me.
jumps up. He's like, last night was a lot of fun. I say we give it another go. That poltergeist last night, it wasn't very friendly at the beginning, but let me tell you what, it led to a fun adventure. So I say 2 times better than 1 time.
I'm gonna be the voice of disagreement and interject here. I'm going to say, listen. It looked like that ghost thing almost killed you. Didn't look pleasant. And yes, some good things came about our investigation of that ghost and where it went. We did rescue some people and whatnot, but I'm going to attempt to persuade you here to not do this, because if the ghost is happy that this happened, it might not be happy to be woken up again. If it did that to you on the first time, who knows what it might do to you on the second time. I don't think it's a good idea.
Ronaldo.
I will assist your persuasion by standing behind you and looking angry.
Orryn looks to Baldr. Like he puts up his big eyes. He just kind of lowers his head like a little kid. It's like, Baldr, do you want to summon a poltergeist?
As I'm walking down the stairs hearing this, it's just, no more poltergeists, no more seances. Leave that poor spirit alone. Let it rest. Let it have its rest it deserved. And then I want to look towards what was the dwarf's name?
It's Kessel.
Kessel.
It's Kessel, your driver.
I want to look towards Kessel, and I want to say, do you have your sled with you?
Yeah. I still have my business to attend to in Targos, so I was gonna head this way when I heard you guys came back late last night. Figured we'd probably be going in that same direction. Figured I'd offer you boys a ride if you don't mind stopping in Bryn Shander for a minute.
Yes.
Yes, but we have cargo.
Yes.
We must
Pull this
load
cargo for us.
first.
Yeah.
Ride.
He's gonna use this as his excuse to slowly kind of peel himself away from the table of halflings, pardoning himself on the way out. Like, look, I'd really like to help you guys. It's just I got business. This looks weird.
No.
That window's still broken. I gotta.
He's done.
It's okay,
No.
Kessel.
And so he kind of hurriedly makes his way. Ronaldo, the lead halfling, pretty heartbroken that other than Orryn, who he still got his hand out just in case Orryn still wants to be a part of this, is standing on his chair now and pouting like a toddler that he might not get his seance or his potential blessing.
I'm gonna put my hand on Orryn's shoulder, and I'm just gonna be like, there will be plenty of other adventures to be had. Let's go deliver this iron.
Orryn just looks down and just kind of walks away, just head all the way down, hunched over, kind of pouting a little bit.
Come on, little Timmy, we're done at the mall. It's time
Right?
to go.
No more shopping for you.
So the halfling's going to give you basically the saddest puppy dog eyes ever.
Ugh.
outstretched hands, little, fuzzy feet covered in tears.
If there was a chance, it faded in Kelroth's eyes as he looks back at this pitiful display.
He really takes a snap at his hand that he's holding out.
Oh,
Done here.
he recoils and they all duck under the table. One of them
nice.
falls out of the open window from the poltergeist busted open last night as you escape out into the streets of East Haven. And even though it's kind of early morning, there seems to be quite a bit of foot traffic. The people seem to be all heading towards the east end of town in kind of groups of like 2 and 3. But for early in the morning, it strikes you as odd that there's this many people out in East Haven.
Can I smell anything on the air? Anything burning?
No, nothing is on fire. You can't see any smoke or anything. It's just as you kind of make your way, Kessel's probably about a block in front of you. He got the hell out of there when he had his chance. But you can see him walking down towards the stables, and just as you go, it just seems to be 2-3 people at a time moving through the city, all of them heading in an easterly direction.
Shall we investigate or shall we deliver iron?
Ask Kessel if he knows anything. If he said he came into town.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's been around. Hey, Kessel, any idea what's going on here?
I think they're arresting the leader of the owner of the other tavern, an oral sympathizer maybe. The people seem pretty excited that the militia's gotten involved and seized her and arrested everybody in the barn, in the bar, and they're gonna burn them all. See how these oral cultists like it.
Oh, great.
We can't leave yet, guys.
Yeah.
It's getting good.
The getting's good. I just noticed something. A follower of our channel is named Maiden Arl. Oh, great.
Yeah. She watches the show. She's a big fan.
Oh, great. Oh no.
Yeah, I got a pipeline to the top.
Yeah,
to the
I
top
just saw it in the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah. We're unofficially sponsored by the
We're unofficially
Frostmaiden.
sponsored by our enemy.
By the Frostmaiden herself.
Yeah. Okay, I would like to suggest we, I don't know, passively observe what's going to happen here, and let's be honest, probably get involved. Shall we head over to the tavern and potentially see a burning or prevent a burning or something?
Orryn starts wandering ahead before anyone responds.
I don't think we're gonna be able to stop anything. This has gotten into mob rule territory.
Yeah, it is a bit out of our hands, but
especially if once the town guard gets involved, we really don't want to ban ourselves from this place.
Yes, no. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to do anything until somebody points at me. All right,
I say we just finish our business and be on our way. And just...
Well, do we want to just not go and do we want to? Because it seems like
I'd rather not watch more people burn today.
That's fair, but we are sort of involved with what's going on here.
I like burning.
Orryn's already gone, so I'm like, I think it would be in our best interest to at least find out what's happening. If it's gonna just go badly, we can just walk away. But it sounds like potentially trouble, and maybe we could step in.
All right, so you guys are gonna go check it out?
I guess so.
Fight. Somebody's
Yeah.
screaming, fight, fight, fight. You guys are like, let's go see. All right. So you'll get to the main avenue through East Haven, and the main streets are just plot full of footprints. And still, despite all the foot traffic and everything you've seen, it still just appears as this almost the whole town is on the move to see this. As you continue and you come within a block or two, the large group of people outside of the wet trout does not look the same as the large group of people who were cheering Dazan's execution the other night. They're more respectful. They're quieter. They're not screaming. They're not throwing anything. They just seem to be standing there peacefully, relatively, as the town guard kind of assembles outside of the bar through basically just looking through the large picture window into the bar where all of these, barely clad humanoids are in there. None of them are fully dressed or anything. They stick out like sore thumbs. A couple of the guardsmen have torches, and there seems to be an argument going on between Speaker Wayland, who you met last night, and somebody who looks like they're probably involved in the city guard. Seems to be having an argument as you kind of stroll up on the place. The people are fine. City guard's keeping them back from the building, but the guardsmen and the speaker seem to be having an issue.
Can I get close enough to hear what they're arguing about?
The crowd's not boisterous or antagonistic, but it's still a lot of people. You hear basically broken phrases such as burn them out, throw them right in through the window, and if they won't go peacefully, this is the only way we can do it. And the speaker seems wholeheartedly opposed to whatever the guardsman is saying.
Okay. I just kind of look back to the group and I'm saying, okay, are we gonna do you want to get involved in this or not? Because
Orryn says, yeah.
This isn't our business per se.
But maybe one of them has something that we could get as far as information goes. The more we know, the better.
If you mean interrogating them, the one thing I know about cults and religions and that kind of thing is they're not good for interrogations. People who have a strong belief in something, they're not easy to trick or manipulate. I don't know if we'll get much information out of them. Plus, if they're just worshippers, they might not really know anything. Again, it's more like, in a sense, do we want to do Oral a favor? Are we trying to balance the scales here, or are we just not wanting to get involved? What do you think, Baldr?
I don't think we should get involved at any point. We did our business in this town. We helped them in the way they could, and unless we're like trying to live here long term, this is another stop.
Orryn says, yeah, but it seems like they want to get these people out of the building relatively peacefully, right? They're talking about burning the building down if they don't go, and they're refusing to go. The town could be in our debt if we could get them out of the building without them having to burn down the building.
I'm gonna sigh, and I'm going to attempt to step forward and get Wayland's attention.
The speaker, seemingly over having to deal with the guardsman, kind of orders him to stay right where he is and slowly makes his way over to you. Yes, is there something I can do? Do you need
Well,
anything?
it seems like we've got a bit of a situation here.
I-
I'm curious as to what's going on.
We've decided this is our day to make our stand against the cultists. We've got the cauldron. We are going to take the power of this town back, and you've helped us more than we can express. And today's the day we stand on our own.
Okay. I would say that I'm speaking for myself here, but my input is that you're in the middle of a curse. There's, this Arl worshipping and this curse, and there's a lot of bad things going on here. And I can see why, it would be scary and why you might want to wrest control back from what seems like a uncontrollable, unknowable enemy. But enticing the wrath of a radical group of individuals might not be the best solution to get rid of them. My concern is that if you do something like this, that it will just bring others to act more rashly against the good people of this town. It's not my choice to make. I just wanted to give you a little bit of input since we happen to be in the area. So take that as you will, and I'll just turn and walk away from him.
He stands there, kind of ponderously looks if anybody else has anything for him.
Orryn asks, he says, why are you all trying to get them out of the building? Are they refusing to go because you're wanting to burn them, or are they refusing to go for another reason?
They're refusing to subject themselves to the law of this town and to my authority as speaker. They're dangerous to the people and to this town, and they need to be dealt with before their lies and their sickness spreads.
So Orryn turns to Jaatuuli and says, should we help them remove the Arl worshippers from the building?
Do we have to be gentle?
Oh.
And they're about to burn them.
Well, I'll do it. Someone's going to get him out of there.
Orryn says, I do have an idea on how we can get them away from the safety of walls. He kind of gives a big smile. He says, I know some very basic magic that, isn't really useful most of the time, but it's good for pranks. It's called a stink bomb. I can create foul-smelling grenades. And maybe that will drive them away from the building.
Wow. I am impressed by your ingenuity.
Orryn just takes that as semi-agreement, and he starts working away at little grenades. As he's doing it, the lot of the little crystal balls that I gave you all starts going away. The magical connection between me and those light balls are ending, so I can infuse these grenades with that magic instead.
How long does this your infusion take? About
For each one, it's 6 seconds.
Okay.
For each one, yeah.
While you seem to be kind of standing out, obviously, from the everyday townsfolk of East Haven, the people inside the Wet Trout have started to look outside to assess their odds and the situation. And from inside, there is a large female white dragonborn who seems particularly interested in the goings on of the party. She seems to be making direct eye contact through the window, and every once in a while, kind of pointing to the party while she's addressing somebody on the inside of the building as well.
I only walked a couple of, I'm not like abandoning the party.
Sure.
I'm still in the area. I just I just turned to walk away like 5 feet or
It's
something.
just, you guys are very
I'm
much
gonna-
not the town folk.
Yeah. I'm gonna, since I've noticed this from the distance, I'm gonna kind of address Waylon and ask who that is.
Oh, that's the proprietor of the place. Just as nasty as they come, her. And give me a second.
It's hot.
Nymetra
Oh Jesus.
Miskin. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
She's been rounding him up since she basically stole that bar about a year ago.
Okay.
Just kind of moved in, pushed the old owners out, and just became a haven for oral worshippers. Can't go in there without seeing somebody without their shirt on.
Okay.
And where's the problem?
It's
Jaatuuli
like what,
hasn't had his
negative 30
breakfast yet.
degrees. I guess I'll just like, if she's like paying attention to us, can I get her attention? Just like
I would.
wait, like just like kind of motion for her.
Yeah, she basically comes to the stands in the window,
Okay.
making direct eye contact with you. But that's really
Is
that's
the window open? Can we? Like, try
no,
to talk
it's
to her?
like a large bay picture
Okay.
window.
Okay. Like I throw a rock at the window. No. I don't know.
I'm gonna start walking over there.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Could we talk to her?
Come on, I'll take you.
Okay. Jaatuuli,
Who's first?
is leading the way. I'm follow him.
So the side of the building you've been looking into the tavern through is not the side of the building with the door. So it'll be on the kind of side of the exposure of the building you've been looking through. As you approach the building, a couple of the city guardsmen kind of buck up and prevent you from outright entering the place. And as you kind of make your way past the picture window, the group of people on the inside definitely move away from the door. And
Okay.
the two guardsmen stand in front of you. We can't let you guys in here. This is city business. Unless you can get them to come out, we can't let you in without the speakers. Okay.
Well, yeah. I'll just be like, Waylon, can you let us inside for just a minute?
He kind of looks over, sees everybody as far as what's going to look like when you enter the room on the far wall, gives them a nod. They move aside, and one of them opens the door inwardly, but does not go inside for you to enter.
Jaatuuli just pushes it open. Bop.
Is Jaatuuli going to be the first one in the door?
Yep, Jaatuuli is the first one in the door.
I'm right behind him.
The Dragonborn owner, faced not through a cloudy window or a darkened, obscured sky, sees this gigantic white lizard man walk into her establishment and drops the large tankard of ale that she had in her hand and visibly pushes somebody who was standing next to her to give her some distance to kind of stand out from the crowd.
All right.
Just briefly, is there anyone of note in the crowd, or is it just clear that like this is a group of Arl worshippers or
I-
just random?
I-
Is there any other people who seem out of place?
No, they seem like regular kind of bar patrons. The only thing distinguishing them from bar patrons in other establishments is the fact is that they've probably most likely been aligned with Arl, and for the most part, they're probably pretty close to being naked, missing bits of flesh. There's nobody that does not fit like the same vague description, aside from
Sure.
obviously the
Okay.
bartenders.
Yeah. I was just curious if there was like some like non-Arl worshiper trapped inside or something. Okay. I will address Nymetra, and I will just say, "Hello. You don't know us, but
You stole my cauldron.
your cauldron. How do you know we stole any cauldron?"
The drow had it. Now the city has it. The people are back. You killed the drow. You mess with a power you don't understand.
A lot of assumptions you're throwing out there. We just did what we were asked to do. We are adventurers. We kind of are swords for hire, so to speak. And based on what I've heard, you're not so innocent yourself. Apparently, you've stolen this establishment from its previous owners. I don't know if we should stand here and throw blame at each other when clearly there's a particular situation formulating outside. We clearly came inside to talk or help. And if you're not interested in that, we can just leave. It's totally fine.
Whether we die
I'm
by
sure the flames will burn you just as much as they'd burn anybody else.
we burn, whether we burn in this place in our home or whether we burn out there for the mob. I'd rather go out in my home if it's all the same.
Okay. If that's really your opinion, then clearly we have nothing to talk about. And I turn away from her to walk out the door.
Wait a minute. And I look at her and, are you sure such a beautiful flower wants to throw her life away?
What are you doing out with these inferiors? Look at you. You don't belong with them. One of them is but the size of a child. One of them is part elf. We don't know what that one is. You don't belong here. You don't belong with them. You are in league with those of the ice and the frost. Don't betray your people and this land for these outsiders.
Outsiders they are, but they are valorous. My home is cursed by this terrible Frostmaiden, the one which you are perpetuating.
You don't understand what she can do. Anybody who opposes her will die or bow. We chose to bow. And how dare you come in here and question my desire to survive?
Bowing to another is weakness. Weakness needs to be exterminated.
Perhaps.
Is there anybody near me?
No, they're all pretty backed up. They're pretty afraid of you that the speaker gave you go ahead to at least enter the building. So for all they know, you came in there to beat the shit out of them.
I mean, they're all unarmored, unarmed, like religious folk, right?
Yeah, bar patrons, believers. They might not even be bar patrons. This may be just the place they hang out with
Sure.
like-minded folk.
Yeah. I'm standing at the entrance. I've effectively walked out. I'm just waiting for the party.
Well, this is my favorite situation, so I'm gonna go and grab one of them by the shirt, or if he doesn't have a shirt on, then by the throat, and pick him up. You're leaving, and you're going to burn for your weakness. And I just start squeezing him.
She picks up somebody next to her and throws them out the window. Orryn does not need but one devotee or one acolyte, for soon ones will be replaced by dozens, dozens by hundreds, hundreds by thousands, led by those who are truly worthy. I give myself to her if this is what she asks of me.
Seeing her throw that other dude out the window, I'm smitten. I was just like,
He's like, I throw people out windows too.
We have so much in common.
We have so much in common.
So seeing Kelroth come outside and back into the crowd, I want to walk up next to him and ask, so did you find the answers you were looking for?
I mean, I no answers. I just, helping hand kind of mentality. But if people don't want to be helped, I'm not here to waste anybody's time. I had to check though. It's just how my conscience works.
Due diligence.
Those willing to be those willing to be a martyr will always be a martyr.
Yeah.
They have no other mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Help is beyond these people. Let the town deal with them. Let us be on our way with our business.
I agree. I mean, I'm viewed a little differently, but I definitely agree. I'm not going to be the one to change these people's minds. Like, that's why I'm ready to go. So I think we're done here. I mean, there's not much else we can do. And I kind of call out to Orryn and Jaatuuli. I think we should go.
As Orryn walks past you, you can smell the incredible
Alcohol.
stench from the
from
the little grenades. And he like at this point you see he's got little tubes up his nose. Like, hey, I got these prepared for you.
I don't think those are gonna be necessary, but you should throw them anyways.
He just starts checking them one by one through the window.
Oh, Jesus.
oh, excellent.
Okay, so through the broken window that she just threw one of her dudes through.
Yep. Just
Okay, so
one by one.
Is everyone out of the building then? Or...
Jaatuuli's still
Not
inside. Her minus the dude she threw out are still inside. They notice the pellets kind of how big are they? Are they big enough to notice?
Maybe like the size of a Pokeball.
Okay. So they notice them kind of flying through the window. At first they look at the guards. The guards also seem kind of confused by what has hit. And after a couple of seconds, the kind of smell of is there a description? Is there like an exact thing, or is it just general nastiness?
So all the text says is it emits a choice of an odor, right? So I'm just thinking of like foul smelling, like sewage, like the worst thing. Yeah, or like maybe in chemistry class, if you ever like accidentally burn an acid or something. Okay. I didn't do that, by the way. I just know how it smells.
So
it's just stinkiness.
Okay.
Yeah, just really foul smelling.
So
like makes your eyes water from the stench.
It starts to smell up the room. A light little haze starts to appear. The smaller folk of the bar patrons start to kind of cough and gag and wheeze a little bit as they kind of really start to reconsider their point of views. The guard has now come up to the window to make sure, you guys just didn't commit like a terrorist act against these people, and kind of leans in, asks the cultists if are you leaving? Because if not, we're going to burn the building down. Defiantly, she stands there, and the guard shrugs and just hucks a lit torch into the bar about 5 feet from Jaatuuli's feet.
All right. Jaatuuli goes right out the window that's broken. Straight out. Gone.
Alrighty.
She's
Well-
not as gorgeous as she is.
So we're
Is
gonna,
Kessel in the area? Did he follow us?
he kind of laid back outside of the crowd.
Okay.
With
I'm
his-
gonna attempt to locate him. I'm just gonna approach him and I say, "It's time for us to leave."
Yeah, I don't. That's craziness. Those people are, no matter what happens to them, they're doomed. And you guys are going to do the opposite, or like the kind of cool slow motion action thing, walk away in slow motion
From the fire.
as the bar kind of begins to burn and smoke. Most of the non-Dragonborn patrons seem to make it out quite quickly. But before you turn the corner and the bar is out of view, at no point did you hear any kind of screaming or see Nymetra leave the building. Dun, dun, dun. You didn't have to do anything. You could just let it alone. So
mean,
no, it's fine. It's
to some degree.
It's totally the point. So Kessel kind of meets back up with you. Those people are lost. Let's get the hell out of here.
They are weak. Let's leave.
I agree.
So Kessel goes and picks his sled up, brings it back to Town Hall where you had stashed the sled destined for the Black Iron Blades of Bryn Shander, hitches him up, and you head off, leaving East Haven on the trade road that will take you straight to Bryn Shander. By the time you are leaving, it is that time of the day when the sun finally does appear in the sky, and in the distance, the tundra at large just looks totally plain and totally barren. There seems to be a storm with lightning and just all kinds of nastiness, swirling winds to your left, to the south of where you currently are. And despite the weight of the sled of iron from the dwarves, Kessel's axe beaks make pretty good time, and you find yourself in the east gate of Bryn Shander. And surprisingly enough, for the biggest town you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any kind of activity in the streets nowhere near East Haven where they were gathering for the mob. It appears to be nothing. The guard captain realizes and recognizes the axe beaks and lets you in through the gate. Kessel drops, brings the sled to a stop right next to the Black Iron Blades. Hops out of the sled and says, "Meet me back here when you're done. I got a little bit of business to attend to before we get to Targos." And he kind of slides off with his bad leg and limps off down the street to somewhere you can't really see, and you guys stand outside of the Black Iron Blades in Bryn Shander.
Oh, the Black Iron Blades, is that a tavern or is that the blacksmith?
That's the smithy.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's Garn.
Yeah, I thought
Garn's
so.
place.
We knock on his door then, eh?
Yeah,
we want to walk
bang,
in.
bang, bang.
Yeah, just kind of like walk inside.
You hear commotion again of a male and female arguing. And
right.
just as you open the door again, this time it would appear a horseshoe goes flying through the recently repaired front window. And as you enter the smithy, you hear, "That's it, I can't take this," and shuffling out the door, and a resigned dwarven sigh from behind the counter.
Hello. We have returned.
"Oh, Oh wow, you're back. What happened? Do you need something?
Well, there was.
Iron.
Oh yeah, the iron. I was gonna lead up to that.
You
Jeez.
found it?
Yes, we did. I
Yeah.
assume all of it's there. It's a lot. It was not easy to carry.
He kind of
Or
pushes
push.
past you,
Pull.
looks out his now exposed hole in the window, and oh my God, it really is it. You guys brought it back to me. I don't believe it. A little dwarvish tear gets in his smut stained face. I
believe it.
I don't know how to thank you. This might be what keeps this town truly alive.
I mean, sort of.
I have no-
Ironically, it was just there, so it happened to be where we were. So it's sort of luck that you've got it. You're welcome.
It's I don't know what to
Hope-
say.
The Battlehammers don't get angry about it.
You
That is
don't,
all.
Don't worry about them. I'll take care of them.
I mean, I'm not.
They're not coming up here. It's too bad. My sister just left. She didn't think you guys could. She didn't think you guys
Your
could do it.
sister.
Yeah.
Oh.
My sister. Why? You
Oh.
think we're married? Weird.
Oh well. Nope. Definitely didn't think that. Now that you have the iron, what's you gonna do with it?
We have to make weapons for what's coming. And hey, speaking of what's coming, I don't know if you guys have seen him, but there's been flaming fist everywhere. I had a couple of them in here the other day talking about a merchant ship with magical items and a bunch of other things stuck in the ice, west-northwest of here.
Northwest.
Supposedly they were pretty excited, and they were about to send a company out to see what they could find. If they didn't get everything, or if they haven't gotten to it yet, we would love to see some of that stuff, or keep it for yourself. Anything you don't use, we would appreciate. Can't get magic items in this town anymore right now.
Out of character. That's towards Targos, isn't it?
It'd be like
West, northwest.
It'd be
way
north
through
of-
way through Targos.
Yeah. It'd be
Yeah,
past
so-
Targus, I'm assuming.
So basically, we could head that way. Like,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like in the same direction, but yeah.
So, yes, we just might stop by and see this merchant vessel you speak of.
It's just there's just one thing about the merchant vessel.
There always is.
Whatever's on it is so quantifiable that a dragon might be thinking it's part of its hoard.
What sort of dragon?
Well, we can beat a dragon, so
I know you can. It's that white one, and he looks at Jaatuuli, like the girl over at the bar in East Haven, like you, like her. Unless you're not, and then I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying.
Cryovein.
Oh yeah, I remember her. She looked like burning. That's good to know.
Gal. She was gorgeous.
Fair enough. That might be something that we will check out. That's good information. We definitely don't want to get involved with a dragon, but
This
turn to
one is
Jaatuuli
okay.
and like,
If it is Cryovein, he will receive us warmly.
that is what I'm concerned about. I kind of mutter that to myself. Uh, awesome. Well, I don't know if anyone else needs anything, but maybe we
So,
could commission you to like make something since you have a bunch of iron now. Fancy dwarven iron too.
Yeah, I'd love to take like an order for you from you for something. It's going to take a little while, but
Of course.
I imagine you're not going anywhere, and with all this
Not
iron,
anytime soon.
and you guys are our only hope right now. So anything I
Yeah.
can do to help you help us, you'll
Does
be at the top
anyone
of my
need
list.
anything?
Orryn does. Metagame here at 3rd level, Orryn gets heavy armor proficiency. So, in character, Orryn's like, yeah, I have something that I would like to be made, but it'll have to have a few modifications from the what you'd normally make. I need some plate mail, and he starts like he pulls out some like little like blueprints on how each piece would kind of like look. It's like, could you fill this out for me? And I don't mind the cover of the cost, of course, but this would really be helpful as soon as I have a few more things to do as far as like studying to take advantage of this. But when this is made and I'm ready for it, it'll be fun. It'll be awesome. Like imagine normal experiments. You know, sometimes they blow up. Sometimes they're awesome. This time I'm going to be inside of the experiment. It's going to be great. He says with a big smile.
It would be my pleasure to work on something like this. He kind of takes the blueprints from you.
It's just gonna meta.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, well, not you, but Orryn, that plate mail costs like at least 1,500 gold.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We got
So
that.
it's like that's gonna be like all your money.
Oh yeah, it'll be like all the money. Because we got the 2,000.
Yeah, we've got like
Yeah.
I assume all of us have just over 2,000 gold pieces. So
And so I want to look at Karn, and I want to say, have you had a chance to look at my sword and maybe return it to its heyday?
I think I can. I can't make any promises, but I do want to try. This iron will go a long way to helping, and potentially anything on that ship. That's going to be our last place until you get past the mountains for anything that's not iron and wood and leather at this point.
Well, I do appreciate you looking at that. It has been in my possession for quite some time, and I would like to have it back.
Jaatuuli wants big X.
Kind of
Small.
looks up at you. Yeah, I figured, big guy. You know, I've worked for some of those Goliaths that they got roaming around the tundra. Feel like looking at you, looking at them. I got your size. I got just the thing for you.
Yes. Big axe.
So he's gonna put down. Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
He's gonna put down like a piece of parchment and a quill, slide it to everybody, and just go, hey, whatever you need, just write it down here, and just check back in, and we'll see how long it takes. But I'm gonna work on it. Not a lot of other business going around. Just gonna get this iron smelted and into a bunch of other things and get working on your stuff. It's the least I could do.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting heavier armor, and I'm gonna like kind of kneel down to Orryn. I'm gonna be like, "Are you sure you're gonna be able to wear plate mail? It's pretty heavy, and meta, you need a strength of 15 to wear plate mail."
Orryn
I know
says,
because that's why I'm not like I'm like I'd love plate mail, but I can't use it.
Orryn says, no, you are correct normally, but in those blueprints that I handed over to him is a plan that will take those disadvantages and turn them into advantages. Just trust me on this one.
Oh, okay, fair
I
enough.
have the perfect idea. And then he looks to the blacksmith and he says, and I have some experience on the anvil myself. If we're ever staying in Bryn Shander, I would not mind helping with this order if it's not ready. I can certainly produce my fair share of equipment. He gives it a smile.
No. I can't. You've got bigger things to worry about. You let me do the smithing. You guys go out and do the adventuring. But so he slides you the thing. Everybody writes down, I guess, a thing that they want. You can give it to me later.
Yeah. I don't need anything. I'm just gonna hold on to my money.
Okay.
For now.
Jaatuuli writes big axe.
And like draws one too.
Yeah. Big.
Like a battle axe.
Like a
two-handed axe.
Yeah.
Great axe.
The greatest axe ever.
Yeah, I'm still like hoping to find a place to like buy a healing potion or something one day. So I'm gonna hold on to my money mainly because also I can't wear plate mail, so I can't really like upgrade my armor.
Wasn't he the only shop
Yeah,
like, in town?
he's an outfitter. He's an outfitter too.
So he might have. Yeah, he might
they have
have
potions.
Some...
They have potions.
Does he have anything?
Does
he have anything?
Let's ask him. So Garn, what other goods do you provide other than blacksmithing?
I'm basically your only trader in 10 towns right now. If I don't have it, I can get it, and if I can't get it, nobody else can.
And do remember that the strength requirement isn't like a prerequisite. It's if you don't meet the strength requirement, it takes 10 feet off of your speed. So
okay.
Yeah. So you can still wear it. You just
be
move.
very slow.
Yeah.
Like
20
really
feet
slow.
of movement instead of 30.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, does he have anything magical? Does he have any potions? Does he have any other
He said he didn't
adventuring
have anything
gear?
magical.
Yeah, nothing magical.
Okay,
we're hoping
okay.
for whatever's on that ship or whatever I can craft here from maybe with the help of your little friend. I do got some healing potions. I got 4 of them.
How much do they cost? Got to do some shopping, you know.
All the things I didn't look up.
Based on what I know, healing potions and stuff are expensive, so.
Uh, 55. Everything is 10% more expensive because of times is tough.
But you said we could get like a discount.
Okay, so everything's supposed to be 10% more with your 10% discount, and if you buy all 4 of them, I'll give them to you for 100. I want to make sure you all live
for 100.
I want to see you all live
Buy
to come
those.
back.
Yeah, I'll just buy all 4, and
Okay.
I guess just like, and I'll just pass one to everyone. Everyone can use a healing potion. Just quick question. Healing potion, I think we talked about this, but we haven't had this come up.
Sure.
Healing potion is an action, right?
It is, if you take it as an action, it does full healing. If you take it,
right.
If you take it as a bonus action, you have to roll for it.
Then you have to roll.
Yes.
Cool. Okay,
So-
cool.
so you
So
get-
I'm going
so
to
you
hand
get the
everyone
option.
1 potion. So, and you said 100 gold, so that's 100 gold?
Yes, for all 4.
Yeah. And everyone gets a healing potion. So everyone's got a little bit of an emergency breather. 1
Yay.
potion.
I need a
I like
new
that.
water skin. Might it be possible to purchase one from you?
Yeah. Hold on. Actually, might have some leather just lying about here. Maybe I could see what you've got. Boom. Thank God for D&D Beyond looking up stuff. Yeah, I got one. I got one right here.
Excellent.
Weird. Okay. One healing potion. Healing potion, just for everyone, is 2d4 plus 2.
Yep.
So maximum of 10, minimum of 4. That's a, emergency healing potion. You never know.
You said 2d4 plus 2?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but if you drank it using your full action, it'd be 10
It's
hit
max.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can do it as a bonus action and roll for it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm going to. Yeah, I know. 4. Great. I'm going to. Does he have anything that's like any other potions like outside of healing, like maybe something quirky or interesting or useful in some random way?
He goes back and digs around. Comes out with one kind of amber colored potion.
What's that?
With this, nothing can put you to sleep, I think.
Okay.
Kind of reads the room, sees nothing. Pulls out another one, like purple, kind of cloudy. I think this one like reads minds, maybe.
Reads minds. How much is that one? Like makes it so you can read people's minds?
Something like that. I think it mimics a spell effect or something.
Okay. How much is that?
That's going to be 100.
I'll buy it.
When you drink this potion, you gain the effect of detect thoughts.
Okay. That's pretty handy. You never know.
Especially if we had that for a lady to see who.
You mean the mayor, who we're gonna go stop in and see after this?
Yes.
After we leave here.
Detect thoughts. I don't think it's like full mind reading. I think it lets you like get a perception.
Yeah, but
of,
it's all right. We can start asking some questions, and if she's gonna be evasive, that's when the mind tricks start happening.
He then pulls out a vial that looks similar to the ones you found on the Goblin Captain the night before.
The green ones, the two green potions.
Green and cloudy. Holds it up and is like, "This one controls animals or something. I don't know. I don't deal with these. I got a third party that sells me these. So just be careful. But that's all I got in potions. If you guys find any out there that you don't know what it is or don't want it, I'll take it here."
Wait, we have potions, right? Somebody picked up potions?
Yeah. We have two.
Yeah. Whoever's got those potions. Let's see if he knows what they are.
That was, I think it was Jaatuuli, wasn't it?
Was it?
It's not me.
I don't have any.
Well, there were, was it 2 light green potions?
Yeah.
And I kind of like pull them out of the bag, and I want to compare them to the potion that he's got on the counter.
The vessel they're contained in is different, but the liquid itself looks to be the same color, the same viscosity. It looks to be the same.
So, okay. We have 2 of those.
Yes.
We need that one then.
This is animal control, you said?
Animal friendship.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Animal
So
friendship.
we have a potion of animal friendship.
Oh, Orryn also pulls out the black crystal that seemed
that
magical and asks if he knows anything about the crystals.
I've seen it. The drow have been into it. They've been digging up all over the tundra trying to grab it. Don't know too much about it. Seems damn near unbreakable. And from what I gather and what I've seen, it can hold magic. That you can infuse it with magic, and that the bigger the piece, the more magic it can hold. And if you were to build something real big, you could hold something real magical in it.
I've known crystals had this sort of property, but this one seems especially attuned to magic.
Like I said, the Drow have been all over it. There's been rumors about like carts of them just going through the tundra, heading south up the mountains. We don't know where they're going or what they're doing with it.
Orryn turns to the party and he says, "I wonder if they're planning on using these crystals to do some sort of ritual casting for Arl or something."
It is
Or
a
they could be
possibility.
using them to make big robots, or maybe a bigger version of what you got going on there.
They may
Point to
be
his little doodle.
They may be trying to switch bodies with oral or for oral. In my civilization, souls may be held in such stones like this. So there is a possibility that they're trying to maybe inhabit a human form for this god, as you say. If they're trying to mine it, they may be trying to find a vessel to hold or contain her for some sort of ritual.
Possible.
That would not be good at all. If she's causing this much chaos, just as a almost abstraction, then imagine what she would do if she were here on this plane.
Lead to death.
I want to look back at Garn. What do you know of this area, this tundra region? Do you know of giants in this area?
Yeah, up towards the northwest near the glacier, where the Goliaths are, where they're from. There's giants up there. The Flaming Fist is north of here, just north of Kelvin's Cairn. There's been drow everywhere. The Flaming Fist. There's the ship. Targos is still burning people. Everything about this place just doesn't make any sense, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let it die.
We found an area to the east of East Haven with a giant skeleton trapped in ice wall. It seems as if the drow were excavating in the area. Do you know of any reason why they would trying to be excavating in such areas?
I know that the crystals found out in the tundra, and with everything going on, they can mine in peace. Nothing short of a polar bear or a yeti is going to come along and disturb them. And
Or us.
they take them wherever it is that they're going with it. Tracks end just as the mountains head as you head south into the spine of the world from East Haven, and nobody's followed it since then. But those steep hills, no man, and looks at Jaatuuli, not even a couple of fellas as big as this are pulling sleds of that rock up that mountain.
It is treacherous. I know the mountain.
Well, does anyone else need anything else? Maybe we should get going. We've delivered the iron.
Yep. Well, you
Orryn-
two.
Got a couple of potions. Spent some money.
Orryn says, I have a feeling that we should head in that direction. And he points to west-northwest.
I agree with the child.
Not a child.
We had something that we needed to do in Targos, didn't we? We were going to go to Targos.
First, we're
we
gonna.
had to go by Targos. That was the thing, is we don't have like per se in Targos. We have to go like north of Targos.
What's north of Targos?
That the person you wanted to save.
The
Oh, the apprentice or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's that way, which is also kind
right.
of in the same area as this,
Mhm,
ice
mhm.
field that he speaks of.
So we could head to Targos, find a place to set up, base.
I mean, we'll
And-
probably have to stay in Targos for the night
Yeah,
because we could
yeah.
probably make it to Targos with Kessel if he's back at his thing already. But he said he had business anyway, so.
Because it takes it took several hours to get to East Haven. So it's like 8 hours, right? Or something
that's
like
that's by foot. Because of the enchanted sled, I'm cutting it by a third, or
Okay.
cutting it to
So it's-
a third. So it was about 3 hours by his
okay.
enchanted.
So,
So we could definitely make it to Targos by like say like evening nightfall, like
10,
nightish.
10, 3 hours, 11. It's about to be done with your window of sunshine. It's
So yeah,
it's
like
gonna
right
be
at the like towards dinner time.
it's going to be just about 1, 2 in the afternoon as you leave the smithy.
Okay.
So there's still sun out. Kessel is still not back yet.
Mhm.
The Axebeaks stand undisturbed exactly as you left them when everybody kind of split up to go do their thing.
Castle.
Well, a good doing business with you, sir. We shall leave you to your iron and head out. And yeah, just where do we want to head next? Do we want to do anything else in Bryn Shander, or do we want to just kind of like head on our way?
No, I think we should head out.
The
Yeah,
ship,
I don't think we really have anything else going on here.
We didn't go east far enough to make it to a dwarven fortress, so
No.
we'll definitely have to go back that way when
Yeah,
we
that'd
come
be
back this
cool.
way, though.
Jaatuuli knows the ship will feed his family.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are just going to kind of hang out by the
yeah,
by
I guess
the
we
sled?
can go back to the tavern that we went to.
I say, why wait for Castle? We can just leave.
That's true. We don't have to wait for Kessel. Targos is not as far away, so
It'll be 2 hours. It's 2 hours by foot. I'm almost positive.
isn't it the Northlook Tavern? That's the one that's in Bryn Shander, right?
Yes, that's the one with your boy Scram Sacks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave that up to the group. I'm down either way. We could go now. We could rummage around town. But I guess if we don't have any specific aim here, we might as well just head to Targos.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's leave.
All right. As you kind of come out of the
Unless we run into Kessel on the way.
We might as well leave him. I'd like to leave him a note, at least if we're just gonna like leave on foot.
Sure, yeah. I mean, then we can stop by Mr. Scramsacks and give him a note to pass to Kessel.
Well, I mean, do we just leave it at leave it in the cab of his sled, or leave it on the sled or whatever? Like just put it like under a rock or something.
I mean, I suppose.
That works.
All right. So you're gonna leave a note. Wait, I guess, an extra moment just in case Kessel shows up. And after a moment, you are going to see nothing and start to head on the road to Targos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jaatuuli first.
Okay. So we're gonna head you guys out from Bryn Shander to Targos. This seems like a good time to take a 5-minute break for everybody. It
Sounds good.
is 8:31. We will be back about 8:36, and the party will head out from Bryn Shander out to the newest destination, Targos. So we will see you in a moment.
Is the ship on the way to Targos, or are we going to Targos first, do you think?
Boom. All right, and we are back from our little break. The party has just got done meeting with the lovely and always friendly dwarves of the Black Iron Blades. Waited around for a moment to see if Kessel was going to return, but to no avail, left him a note, like they just dinged the sled, saying that, see you and Targos are on the way.
Yeah, he says we'll see you in Targos this evening.
Okay. So you leave a little note, wait another moment, just to see, just in case, and nothing. So you head out down the road. For having all the kind of foot traffic and people moving about in East Haven, Bryn Shander stands in exceptionally stark contrast. That there appears to be almost no kind of movement. The major kind of tracks in the snow on the streets seem to be a couple of days old, but when they're pretty deep and pretty established, but nothing since the last probably 4 or 5 days with snow that's falling, and probably since about the time you were there. It was probably about the time it was the busiest. You head out, just fresh, clean snow through the streets, and just as you make it to the gate to leave the walled city, you hear the kind of cawing. Is that what we're going to go with? Is that what axe beaks do? They caw? We'll just say that. All right, so the axe beaks caw.
I would say like a squawking, cawing sound. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like a wah.
Yeah, I like I said, ostriches ostriches sound weird, so let's not go with those. So anyway, birds behind you, and the sound of the sled gliding on the snow, and Kessel very clearly kind of comes out of the darkness and pulls up. In his lap, you see the box that he received from his smuggler contact in the woods way back before you arrived at Hundlestone. And on top of that, a very beautiful and colorful red flower that just stands in utter contrast color-wise to everything that is white and cold and kind of stark about it. He's got his kind of coat over the flower to protect it, but kind of sticks out over the top. You guys, I saw your note. You couldn't wait. Man had to get a flower. It's not an easy thing to do in this town, and I wasn't leaving until I got it.
Do you have a date?
No.
We weren't sure how long you were going to be. We didn't want to hold you up. So, we didn't really have anything else to do in town. So we just thought, we'll head on our way.
It's all right. It's nothing romantic. I don't feel that it's right that the only time a dwarf receives flowers is at his funeral.
Oh.
We're
going to a funeral?
No. We're gonna go see my contact. I'm finally gonna get paid. You guys have been great and an excuse to be here, but the real reason I'm here is I got to deliver this box.
Oh right, your box.
Think I believe in the Arcane Brotherhood's cause? I'm here to get paid and to help somebody very dear to me.
All right, let's leave.
What's in the box?
Oh,
it's a gift for somebody very important to me.
Oh, and the flower too?
Yes.
What kind of flower is that? I mean, I haven't seen any flowers since we got here.
Nobody has. I made a deal with that wizard through Trollsbane to plant an enchanted flower that was going to be ready by the time I got here, and I had to go get it, and it was still there. So I'm gonna take it. I don't know what kind of flower. I bought it through some shady network from a wizard who planted this seed before I even got here. But it's here. I asked for it.
Just curious. It's cool.
No, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And he kind of makes sure that he keeps it covered from the wind and the cold as you kind of make your way through down the road. It's a really quick, about 45-minute trip. Kessel seems to be wasting no time, and while he's never seemed to be abusive of the axe beaks, he definitely seems to be a little firm with his driving this morning. You guys are hauling ass.
Right.
And as you kind of come to Targos, stands in contrast to East Haven, which did not have walls. Targos does. It is significantly smaller than Bryn Shander. The logs that comprise the wall are saplings at times. Some of it boarded up. Some of the sections are missing. This is probably the poorest of the three towns you've seen this far. It doesn't even have a stone guard shack over the gate. It's just
Is it big?
The city?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It's significantly smaller. It stands out because it does have a wall. As you come up, they don't have any room to kind of be subtle. You pull up, the Kessel brings the wagon to a stop at the gate. Look down. You're that adventuring party from Luskin, yes?
Yes.
Are you
That
here?
is us.
Are you here about the wizard?
Sort of.
As the guard kind of speaks out, somebody grabs the guard back. Shh, don't tell him about the wizard. You're here for Trollsbane, yes?
Yeah.
We know him too. Yeah.
All right. He's instructed us to allow you through the gates, but just wait inside until he arrives to receive you. Is that understood?
Sure.
So he kind of gives everything
Look
a look.
at how patient we are.
Gives everything a look. Seems kind of oddly interested in the flower on Kessel's lap, but orders them to open the gates. The gates swing open. Kessel pulls the wagon inside just enough to get the gates closed, and the militia town's guard definitely is obstructing your path any further into the city. They're not being casual about your situation right now.
Wait, is Trollsbane here?
He is not.
Oh. But they're letting us in?
Yeah, and they're making it very clear that you were to kind of stay where you are and follow the exact instructions of coming inside and waiting until Trollsbane gets you.
Oh. How long till Trollsbane gets here? I'll just ask a nearby guard. If the guy who addressed this is still here.
He kind of looks around. Trollsbane's down with the speakers. As soon as the speaker's done talking to him, he'll dismiss him.
Okie dokie.
And he just kind of goes back to blankly.
May I ask who the speaker is? Gotta know who all these politicians are, you know?
Yeah. All right. We'll just call him Speaker Nerith.
Speaker Nerith. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I guess we will stand here.
As you kind of stand there, idly looking about.
Cross arms, start tapping my foot.
You see the pyre, just like the one you saw already burned in Bryn Shander on your arrival, and the one you saw Dazan strapped to during his execution. You see one fully constructed. There is, it's on a kind of narrow street. It doesn't appear as if there would be much room for the angry mob that you saw in East Haven. After a couple of moments, Trollsbane comes down the road. He looks kind of frustrated and almost sad at the same time. As he comes within 10, 15 feet of you, he looks at all of you. I'm gonna need you to get out of the sleigh, boys. I need to talk to Kessel.
I turn to Kessel. Does he seem cool with that?
Kessel says okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he trusts Trollsbane.
Pop.
So everybody gets out of the sleigh. Trollsbane kind of gives you one of these to tell you to kind of hang out for a second. He approaches Kessel and whispers something in his ear. Kessel just screams out in pain and cracks the whip hard on the axe beaks and takes off down the street. Just like in Bryn Shander, the street is completely empty. There are no footprints through the actual parts of the town that the guard seems like their patrol is just along the perimeter. So it doesn't look like anybody's been out in the streets, at least for a day. As you see Kessel take off down one of the side streets like a bat out of hell. Trollsbane's gonna make his way over to you. I'm sorry about that. I've got good news and I got bad news. The good news is that because of the funny business with the cult and the fairy family in East Haven, the speakers agreed to put the burning off until tomorrow night, unless somebody can prove that the lottery here is rigged. Just because it's rigged in East Haven doesn't mean it's rigged here. The bad news is the person chosen was Kessel's brother.
Well, I guess that explains that.
Was Kessel from here?
No, his brothers lived in Icewind Dale for 50 years, and him and Kessel went different ways, but they've always stayed close. And Kessel was out being a smuggler and just ne'er-do-well, and his brother was up here trying to help the people and the land coexist for a long time. He wasn't going to stand by and let this cult come in and speak for the people or speak for the land. And he spoke out. And now he's...
What's Kessel's brother's name?
Coral.
Coral?
Coral.
Okay.
Like when the Walking Dead guy says Carl.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's what I was going to give you as the analogy.
Call. Let's call.
When Andrew Lincoln gets upset at his son.
Okay. Well, the.
So you said the leader is considering his lottery is rigged. Do you think this as well? In here in Targos,
the speaker is a cultist, I believe. So of course it's rigged. You need to explain.
Kill.
You need to prove to the person rigging the game that the game is rigged for him to believe you. I'm not sure how to save him. He's a fabulous dwarf, an honor to his clan, and a beacon of hope to the people of this town. He deserves better than this, than to die in a fire to appease some lunatics.
And you say this comes from nomination. These lotteries come from nominations, or are they chosen?
They're supposed to be a blind draw. It's amazing how the people who speak out are always the one blindly drawn.
Yeah, it's a crying shame that anyone needs to get burned at all. Okay. Is there what?
Where is
How could we prove it? Like, how could we prove it?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to him and find out his circumstances. Speaker lives above the
Is he
tavern.
being held?
He's at his home. He knows. Hasn't tried to flee. Has really taken this with honor. And I talked to him a little bit. If his death means helping these people, it's a price he's willing to pay.
Pathetic.
That's weird. Speaker Nerith
Yes.
is the person. You said he's probably a cultist. Is he like what is he? Is he like an elf or a dwarf, or is he like human? Is there any particular identifying characteristics about this individual?
He's a human. He's tall, real skinny, missing the tip of his nose. Hardly wears a shirt. Moved the whole city government out of the city hall and moved them into the bar.
We should kill him.
Possible.
I'm the closest thing to law enforcement as this place allows. I don't know. I can advocate for killing, but I will say that this town might be town might be better. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Sure.
Jaatuuli understands subtlety. We should kill him.
Of course. Where would we find this individual? Wait a minute. If they've abandoned the city hall or equivalent, is that building just abandoned?
Yeah. From what I understand, it's empty. There's nothing in it.
Where's that?
It's in the center of town. Don't have the thing for us. Yeah, it's basically dead smack in the center of town. Actually, let me see if I can put it up while we do this.
Interesting. We could investigate that. Maybe there's some clues left behind, hidden inside. It's a possibility. We're working here. I mean, obviously we got to help out our buddy Kessel, right?
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah. At the very least, get him and his brother out of town or something.
Yeah.
At best, prevent this from happening altogether. Okay. If you want us, wink, wink, to get involved in this, where would you suggest we head to next?
Just go to Kessel's house and just check on him, see how they're doing.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
Make sure he's okay. See what the brother knows. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
The speaker's going to be no help, but if not, the only other thing that's here is one of the wizards supposedly lived in Targos. I don't know. Maybe it's just a rumor, but yeah, that might be something here too. If maybe them wizards are involved in this lottery and they're not telling us the truth.
I guess it might have already been implied by this point, but Trollsbane is sort of like freelance sheriff of the 10 towns. It's
He'd
kind
be
of
like the marshal of the
Yeah.
area.
Right?
Self-appointed kind of being
right, because there isn't really. He's sort of self-appointed. Okay, cool.
We should go Kessel's
Before we go to Kessel's, I just want to ask Trollsbane. I'll say, we heard that there's like Flaming Fist mercenaries investigating like a sunken ship or something like that. Do you know anything about that? You mentioned that you used to work for the Flaming Fist.
I've seen them all over town, and all over the tundra. They're amassing for something big, north of Kelvin's Cairn, a giant camp out in the tundra. The map of Targos is up on the stream. Just they're out here. They were in town looking for supplies. There wasn't any in this town, so they went over to Bryn Shander, and a couple of them rented sled dogs and a bunch of sleds and headed out almost due west of here, out to the Sea of Moving Ice for something. Try not to get involved. I don't want to know too much lest I get dragged back in.
Alrighty. Let's go to Kessel's.
Agreed.
All right.
I ask him for directions, and we'll head towards Kessel's brother's place.
Yes. So he'll point you in the kind of direction. You'll see, after a couple of blocks, you'll see Kessel's sled really haphazardly parked in the street. Usually kind of makes sure the birds are safe, nothing bad's going to happen to him, but it absolutely looked like he just bailed out of this thing. And as you kind of come up, the axe beaks just kind of cluttering around, but they seem kind of aimless. And through the small foggy window, you hear the very loud sound of two dwarves in the middle of a very heated argument.
Yeah, two dwarves and two elves would sound very different.
Yeah.
Two elves would be like, "Oh, well, I never. How dare you?" Two dwarves are like, "Oh, what the fuck?" All right. I guess we'll just kind of like, is the door closed? Is it open? Is it?
The door is closed, and there's only one set of kind of, I don't know, fat, short, stubby footprints, if that's a thing, from the sled to the front door. Just, I don't want to body shame footprints.
I'll kick open. No, I'll. If the door's unlocked, I'll just push it open.
As you walk into the house, it's deeper than it is wide. At the far end, you see Kessel sitting in a chair with his feet up and his leg brace off, actually, for the first time since you've encountered him, arguing with another dwarf who looks almost exactly like him, just a little more beaten and worn, like he'd lived a pretty rough life on the tundra of Icewind Dale.
Taking 2 arrows.
As you kind of push your way through the door, the argument seems to stop, and the other brother. You must be Kessel's friends. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Hello.
Sorry about my brother. He's upset.
based on what we know, reasonably so.
It's not it's nothing like that. I'm Coral, brother of a smuggler and former ranger of Icewind Dale.
I am Kelroth, and this is our group, Unnamed Adventuring Party.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. I imagine that my brother wouldn't be here without you, and I owe you a debt to make sure that he got home safe.
Oh, I know how you could pay this debt back to me, to us. It's really, really quite simple. Don't die,
Where's
and don't
this?
let yourself get sacrificed for nothing.
I'm
Where-
not going to give into this cult, but
Okay,
I'm tired, son. I'm tired. This
Oh,
world has
Lizzie.
this world has taken just too much of me, and if there's a chance, even the smallest one, that my sacrifice could help this land, I'm gonna do it, son. And there's nothing there's nothing my brother, there's nothing any of these people out in this town can tell me. I owe my life to this town, and if that bill comes due today, then I'm ready.
Where is the speaker?
He's at some bar or hidden away. We don't see him too much except for the burnings or when he's got a point to prove. But he lives upstairs in the Luskin Arms. Nobody's ever been inside. There's guards posted up. Travels around with guards of his own.
They are his guards and not of the city.
They're his. Everything about this town is his. This town's crooked, and I couldn't go another day without saying so. And here I am. The next up.
I look over to the party. If they are his guards, we can kill them.
Don't go starting a revolution and overthrowing the city government because of me, boys. I've lived a full life. I got to see my brother one last time, and if this is my day, then so be it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. You're
This
not.
was their day.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Think
We're
about
gonna
the
focus.
think about the adventures and all the mysteries that you'll miss out on if you go tomorrow. It's
Don't think he's worried about that.
Yeah, he's gonna kind of give you a cute little smile and kind of bend down to one knee. I've been on and I've seen more adventures in this lifetime than I hope you ever get to see in yours. I wouldn't wish this life on anybody.
If we told you that this whole lottery and the burnings were all fake and it's all a scam, would you still feel the same way about letting them burn you?
Oh, I'm not burning, son. I've made a deal. I'm gonna die today,
A deal with?
but I'll be damned if
Wait, what?
these lunatics are gonna watch me burn for their entertainment. They can have my life. They ain't having my screams or the pleasure of watching me die for some ice queen out in the water.
How are
Oh,
you dying then?
Yeah, are you gonna let what are you you're implying something here, but I think we're missing it. Are
I
you
take
gonna commit suicide?
I take it the flower was for you.
It's mine, but it's not what you think. And at this point, he's been kind of casually, while talking and ever so subtly, making his way over to the door. And as he kind of continues talking and, almost looking effortlessly, He mumbles something quickly in Dwarvish, looks Kessel in the eye, and says, Kessel, you're my brother. I love you. Be safe. Opens the door and slams it quickly behind him.
I kick the door outwards and run after him.
Okay, I'm going to cast the spell Command, and I'm going to tell him to halt. He will have to... It's a 60-foot range, so I'll be able to cast it faster than he can run away. Unless there's some other trickery going on.
Well,
Let
I
me
kicked
see.
the door open. You should be able to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, I should be able to see him. The spell has no effect. Let me just read. I don't know if there's a saving throw or anything. It doesn't say. Is there? There's got to be.
should
I think
Okay.
it's a wisdom
Yeah.
saving throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing doesn't say, unless I'm just missing it. Anyways, Command. Here we go. Yeah, succeed on a wisdom saving throw. So he'll need to succeed on a wisdom saving throw. He needs to beat a 14. Otherwise, he will, I mean, to DM discretion, but he should just halt for like 6 seconds.
17.
Okay, so he'll succeed. It won't affect him.
Okay, so
And outrun me.
he clearly hears you, and because he had kind of at least a little bit of a head start and is from the town,
Sure.
he makes some kind of quick, subtle juking moves. And the whole time you're following him, you notice he's not leaving any footprints in the snow. After a little bit,
Steal his shoes.
for being a kind of an older dwarf with his short, stubby legs, he manages to get out in front of you and almost vanish into thin air.
Jaatuuli is super pissed off right now.
Um,
What
Okay, well-
is-
Orryn just keeps like a 60-foot distance away from Jaatuuli.
Okay. Well, I'm under the assumption that so it kind of implied that he was gonna do something to himself, but maybe it's more reasonable to assume that he's going to attack the people that are threatening him. That's why he
Let's-
thinks he's gonna die.
No.
Maybe
To the
we should head towards where the
Luskin-
cultists are.
Yeah, they're at the Luskin Arms, he said, upstairs.
Yeah, yeah. He said something about that someone they said that they live in the tavern now.
yeah, that would be the Luskin Arms.
Yeah.
I want to ask
let's-
Kessel.
Oh.
I haven't left inside yet, so I want to like look and see what his reaction to him running out of the house was.
Kessel's just an absolute mess that he feels as if that message from his brother was the last thing he's ever going to have his brother say to him. So he's pretty inconsolable. Keeps going on and on about not knowing what his brother was going to do, but just that he was going to do something foolish.
Don't worry, Kessel. We'll do what we can. And I guess I'll leave out of the house and try and catch up with everybody.
Okay. So the only footprints that you're going to see leaving the house are going to be the party. So a couple blocks away, following the footprints, you come back, everybody's back together. And as you make the turn towards the Luskin Arms Inn, out of the corner of your eye, you see a very dark silhouetted figure with like tufts of white hair sticking out of the back, kind of hopping from stationary point to stationary point in the street, as if they're going somewhere but trying not to be seen.
Are they are they in front of us, or are they like following us?
They would be in front of you, unaware
Okay.
that you just kind of saw. Like I said, it's mostly the contrast of the hair sticking out is what really kind of grabbed your attention.
What's the hair look like?
It's long and white, sticking out. The contrast against the very dark, furred and heavily bundled up silhouette is the thing that caught your eye.
And it hasn't noticed us.
It has not. It seems to be somewhat deliberately, like I said, making very pointed moves to get somewhere while not being seen.
I'll ram.
Oh.
I'll run into him and try to knock him down.
He's going to move just out of the way as you run up on him, sprint away, and turn down a corner about 3 blocks from where you are. And after your initial little tussle, he's going to make no effort to try to be stealthy. He basically runs down the middle of the street and very clearly telegraphs the direction he goes in when he makes a hard right to him.
Why is everyone so fast here?
Okay. I think that was a drow.
It smelled familiar.
Yeah, it had silver hair like the drow that we met before. He
We should
kind of
go to-
telegraphed where he was going, right? So we kind of could see like he was going in that direction. Is that the direction we were headed, or is it in a separate direction?
It's in the direction you were headed. He was always in the figure was always in front of you.
Okay, so he's going where we're going then.
He's going at least in the same general direction, give or take a couple of blocks.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Okay. Are we getting sidetracked by this? Are we going? Okay, we're following that guy.
So as you kind of get up to the street where the mysterious figure made the right-hand turn, you notice that the street in which they turned onto is narrow. It's very poorly lit, and more than anything, almost all of the views from the street seem to be obscured. Either with boxes or like fences of various heights. And for the first time you notice footprints very clearly in the snow, kind of appearing out of nowhere.
Ambush.
Should we go this way, or should we head back to deal with the dwarves, or the Carl?
Back to the arms. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a trap.
smells like trap.
Yeah.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, well, or we can just like, but we want to save Carl, right? Like, we want to figure
I
out
thought
where
that's
Carl.
what we were doing.
No, we got distracted by this potential drow person.
We just saw tufts of hair. We didn't. I mean,
Long
that's
silver hair. That is like one of the major identifying characteristics of drow. It might not have been a drow, but
Aren't
it was
they
probably a drow.
Didn't you say it was a short, stocky person?
I mean, drow are elves are short.
Oh, Lord.
If it was really short, then maybe it wasn't. But
It looks bigger than it is because of how bundled up it has to be to not freeze to death in the dale. So everything looks stockier, bigger than it probably than its natural frame is.
But it looked like 5 foot or something, right?
What do the footprints look like?
They're kind of a little bit. They'd probably be smaller than everybody's Everybody here except Orryn's. They'd be smaller, most likely, more narrow than anybody else's feet
Probably
except
an elf.
Orryn's.
Because like I'm bigger than a normal elf because I'm half elf. Um.
Head down the alley.
I'll go with him.
Orryn
We're
also
going.
goes.
Jaatuuli goes first.
I will take the rear.
As you head down the alley, the footprints suddenly appear to be, two sets. One of them kind of larger and heavier, more deliberate. The other, the set that you saw from the beginning of turning down the alley. As you continue down a little further, you see just out of the corner of your eye the same, most likely, dark figure with the hair sticking out from underneath a heavy hood, kind of off to the side, with a sword basically straight up, blade pointed down, and in front of them a dwarf kneeling, chin to their chest, neck exposed. And right as you kind of come into full view, the dwarf shoots his arms out to the side, and the figure stabs him straight through the back of the neck in a decisive and clean strike, instantly killing Coral.
I throw an axe at the dark figure.
He's going to slide effortlessly to the side. Sword looks basically, it's like a gladius. He's going to turn it, open his arms wide and straight out, and leave his drop the sword and turn and face you. I'm sorry we had to meet like this. What I did for him was a mercy. My father will kill me for this, but I could not allow a man such as him to die for these fanatics. You can take my head if you want to. I'm sure the speaker will pay you for it.
Nobody makes any sense here.
That's the brother.
I literally yell that out.
And he pulls back this hood, and you can obviously see that it's a drow. He's making no effort to threaten you
Turned Baldr, I'm like, told you.
or look menacing, and he's dropped his sword and just is basically standing there.
Okay, I run over to Carl.
Do not magic.
Huh?
Do not waste the magic.
Oh, fair enough.
I want to go.
I don't really think I can do anything, but I mean,
I want to ask the drow. Are you the outcast brother?
is he considered outright dead, or is he a living creature with 0 hit points?
Severed the spinal cord in the soldier's death, so he made it.
I mean, well, so like, is there any amount of life still in him, or is he like he needs like that's what is he outright dead, or is like his body still alive to some degree? I can do something. I mean, you could find out.
I would say no.
Okay,
if you do something cool, then
I'll
maybe.
cast Spare the Dying on him.
Okay.
If he is alive at all, he will no longer die.
And then would he be conscious?
I'll leave, yeah. Anyways, I'll try that.
So he's gonna kind of cough up blood and just he's gonna kind of turn and look at the drow. You told me it would be quick. Why am I still here? And the drow kind of gives a very quizzical look to the party. I showed him a kindness and I spared him the flame. To do this spits in the face of his desires. He chose this.
Jaatuuli, get him!
All right.
I'm like, get him!
I'll just go running straight forward. Ah!
Orryn yells out, like, non-lethally. We need to ask him questions.
Jaatuuli will take his face.
All right.
Just make sure he's still breathing without a face.
I want to move to Carl. And I want to snap his neck.
What? I will attempt to stop him from doing that.
Wow. I mean, that's fair, but also, wow.
Yeah, you just okay.
All right.
Yeah, my character will not let you just snap his neck, so I'm going to attempt to stop him.
Let's go ahead and roll for initiative, and we can figure out who's gonna stop who from doing what. Oh shit! All right. The drow's not gonna be stopping much of anybody from doing anything. His initiative roll is terrible.
Well, he was busy.
Yeah. Anything above 20 for initiative. 20 to 15.
I have a
16.
16. Uh-oh. I think that means you go first, though, because
I was gonna say, I
you
imagine
have a higher dex.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Baldr, Kelroth.
Am I also rolling, or is this just those two?
No, everybody.
You want to?
Okay. Sorry.
If you want to do anything, you should probably
Yeah.
roll. If you're just going to watch, then probably
Hey,
don't need to,
Nat
but-
20.
Oh, shit.
22.
All right, Orryn, Baldr. Jaatuuli, what'd you get?
13.
13. All right.
I'll go last.
And then
It seems like- All I have to do is go before the drow to make myself happy.
all right, so we're gonna kind of charge to him. He is going to scramble quickly and dexterously to pick up the sword, and as he does so, he kind of backs up a little bit, sword raised out in front, defensively. It is not what you think, my friends. I did this as a kindness. I wanted to spare him the blade. I don't want to
Give me the
kill.
flame.
I don't want to kill anybody. Do not do this. And he's going to keep backing up, and we'll go to Orryn first to act.
I am a real quick question for Jaatuuli. Does it seem like Jaatuuli has lethal intent for this guy, or can I tell that he's?
I mean, Jaatuuli, you tell me, bro. Like, are you like?
Have you ever seen me non-lethally deal with somebody?
I have not.
I have not.
Have you ever seen me look mad and someone come out better for it?
But like, do you look like mad, or do you look like?
I mean,
There's only one mad Jaatuuli.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on the drow.
Okay.
I feel like I am a little bit confused by the happenings. Just answer the questions for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on the drow so that it will reduce the likelihood of him actually being attacked. I want to question him. I don't want him to die. Like, I don't care if he gets roughed up a bit. I just don't want him to die.
Okay.
I also
Okay.
don't want the dwarf to die, so ideally I would cast it on both of them.
But you chose the drow.
Okay.
Yeah, I chose drow because I figured he would know more.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair. That's not even a bad idea.
But that's it. If you attack him, you have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That's not an easy one for me. Surprise, I'm not wise.
Okay. And what's the DC going to be? Yours?
Yeah,
it'd
it's
be- it would be his.
14.
Okay.
DC 14.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
All right, cool. I got it. All right. All right. So Baldr's going to be next to act. This kind of, was it divine? This abjuration kind of purplish glow hits the drow, and he still hasn't really made any kind of authoritative moves offensively. Seems very clear to back up, keep one hand out where you can see it, and his sword just kind of trying to keep everybody at bay.
So I'm gonna move over towards Carl, and forgive me, friend. I know you've made your choices, and we've meddled in your choices, and I apologize. I do hope you'll forgive me. And when I see you again, maybe you'll let me know. And I want to end it for him.
He looks you in the eye and says, "Bless you."
So is that you want me to full attack for it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
All
not
right.
really dodging.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you need to roll for that.
Yeah. What's the AC of a dude who
You
just
roll a 1.
Well, I
And then
mean,
you
he's
fail to break his neck.
technically down, so he's
Yeah,
lying
Yeah,
down,
and he's
right?
not even trying to dodge. So,
Yeah, so-
like,
Well, you could roll a 1 and trip.
So I mean,
sure, yeah, you could like
either way,
sprain your
so
wrist.
that's a 15.
So that's gonna hit.
He has 0 hit points.
Yeah,
technically.
so
he's
we'll go ahead and say that you mercifully put him back at rest. We will say. And okay, is that
he
it?
wasn't dead. I did not resurrect him. I stabilized him from dying. So he might have died, yes, but I did not like unkill somebody. Just want to be very clear. I stabilized him.
So he was at just 0 hit
I
points.
just
Yes,
don't
right?
yeah. So like
yeah.
basically, it's like the idea of like spare the dying works in that like
That's
as
technically a
long
crit
as they're
against him,
alive, I
so-
can make them not die.
Yeah.
That is
So
it.
I still just did a crit against him, so it
Or,
doesn't.
yeah, I mean, like it's like yeah. Armor
So-
class 0. He's not dodging. He's on the ground. He's basically dead. Like
So Carl collapses right where he fell after the drow struck him the first time. The drow's going to kind of circle around as you've gotten closer to him by approaching Coral. I do not wish to fight you. I am only here to disrupt this cult and destroy my father's plans. I'm not here for bloodshed of the innocent or for those who wish to help these people.
you make no sense. You just stab somebody in the throat.
Oh, in the back of the neck.
Even worse.
It is actually Kelroth's turn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna draw out something really dumb here and like endlessly cast spare the dying on him. Like, though technically I could, depending on your perceptions of like how the spell works. I mean, I'm not gonna make any move against the drow or anything, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, look at Baldr with a very confused, disgusted look. And I'm just gonna be like, I don't know what we're doing here now. I don't understand. I'm just gonna stand there and just like fucking arms up, like I don't understand. I didn't realize we were here to become murderers. And that's my turn, because I don't have anything else to do.
Jaatuuli.
I'll stop running and look all sideways at him. You are against the cultists? I'm talking to
I am against innocent people dying for a bloodthirst. He wanted a quick death that would not satisfy the savages of this town. He sacrificed himself, and in doing so, he exposes the corruption of this town without having to face the flame.
I want to look at Jaatuuli at this point, and since him and I were the closest people when we attacked the drows on the ice ledge, I want to look towards him. I'll go, this is the drow those two spoke of, the two that were against the brothers. So this is the drow that works against them, that works against themselves. Maybe he can help us.
At hearing this, he kind of perks up. Sword still out, keeping everybody at space. Are my brothers dead?
2 of them at least, and the witch they summoned.
Wait a minute.
She's my father's experiment. This has gone on too far. I won't be party to this. I won't.
Jaatuuli is like, maybe we work together. I am going to grab my axe now. I will not attack you.
If
work,
pick up my axe.
Like Kelroth is fuming. Like, why was the solution to kill him? You say no bloodshed, but you stabbed him in the neck. You killed somebody. I don't understand. Okay, listen.
Kelroth, if someone asks to die, it is lawful to kill them.
Right, or you could like retreat and formulate a plan, maybe a battle plan to come back and attack, or you don't.
We are forming.
He's a coward. He just gave up. I didn't think you'd be one to be supporting that. And this guy's a murderer.
If he can help us, then he is more valuable alive.
Maybe.
And if he cannot, then Jaatuuli will eat him.
Okay.
Orryn does say, he says, it's the same that Coral died the way he did by Baldr's hand. But this guy, he has to have some information. He can be an ally. So even if we don't like him, we can use him to our advantage.
I don't really care about the drow, to be frank.
The child is correct.
It's more just like, where's our moral grounds here? We don't even know this guy, and apparently you're comfortable listening to the very few conversations we had and being like, yeah, you should die and kill him, and he's willing to kill himself, and this guy's willing to kill him for him. And it's like, just so that he doesn't burn, it's like, I feel like we're missing something here. I feel like there are other solutions, like, let's kill the guy who's doing all these scam burnings. How about that? Maybe I'm crazy here, but I feel like, okay, listen, this is none of my business, this is not my life, but I disagree, and I'm making it clear. That is all. I fold my arms.
I want to look back at Kelroth, and I was just, what did you learn at the bar?
Which bar?
The bar that you tried to save, that still burned, and everyone in it burned. What did you learn?
But I went to offer a helping hand and they said no. And I mean, I can't help people who don't want to help themselves. This guy was like, in a sense, it's similar, but the difference is we don't know anything about this guy except for he's a friend of our friend, and like that incentivizes me to try a little harder, than a bunch of cultists who clearly are doing up to no good. If this guy was like an evil person who was doing bad things, maybe I wouldn't be so emotionally invested.
This will be in character. Do you have many dwarf friends?
No, I don't have any friends.
Orryn looks down. He's like, I thought we were your friends.
Well, I mean, I'm questioning it right now.
Try and change a dwarf's mind one time, and then tell me if I did the wrong thing.
I don't know.
If Jaatuuli is asked to kill them, Jaatuuli would say yes.
I feel like we don't have enough information. He just ran off, and then a drow stabbed him in the neck. I did what I thought was reasonable and healed him. And then my companion broke his neck. Listen, I'm a little confused. Okay. We don't know this guy. We're making some assumptions. It seems like we've kind of figured out who he is, but still, like,
you're allowing your...
this guy could be a hired assassin who just murders people. Like, for God's sakes, we have no idea. Anyways, I mean, it's done. It's done. I can't bring him back from the dead. He's dead. But like,
you're allowing your human blood to spread weakness.
I am human.
Sometimes.
You guys are very racially oriented in describing how people feel and think. It's not always true. Look at this drow. Apparently he's trying to do the right thing.
Sometimes death is one choice, and how you die is another choice.
Sure.
Yeah, just like when I decided to go down into the wolf's den, it's very possible I could have had my head, but it was my choice. Now, do I agree with Baldr? No. But
listen, that's all I'm saying is that like if he was trying to euthanize himself, that a completely separate conversation than him running out of the building, and then we run into a drow and he's getting stabbed in the back of the neck. Sorry.
Well,
okay?
I
It's
mean,
not the same for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, this will be out of character. We straight up just kicked open his door. I mean, he didn't know us.
Sort of.
Four people kick open
a relationship with Kelroth.
4 people,
or not Kelroth, Kessel.
4 people kick open your door that you don't know while you're talking to your brother. What are you gonna do?
Okay, listen. He knew who we were. We walked in and he was like, "Hey, you're the adventuring group Kessel told me about."
Yeah, probably because he literally was in an argument.
Yeah, but
he's like, "Hey, I got some friends with me," and then all of a sudden, boom, door kicks open. It's like, "Oh, deer in headlights." We did kick the door open. You literally said, "I'm gonna kick the door."
I said, "Haha, I'm gonna kick the door open," but of course not. I'm just gonna.
He did say
yes,
he was gonna push the door open.
I was joking. I did open the door like a regular human being.
Yeah. So
anyways,
the drow still standing there, much less of a, like I said, almost to a casual position. He's going to, now that everybody doesn't seem to want to attack him again, he's going to stretch his arms out completely to the side and drop the sword once again. He asked me to do that. I did it for him. This outrage of this cult, it can't last, and my father cannot succeed in his plans.
Right. See, that is, yes, the cult. The cult.
Can you take us
That's
to
the problem.
He was supposed to be sacrificed to.
What's up?
Huh?
Can you take us to the people that wanted his sacrifice?
Oh.
The town will take him. I'm just here to do him this mercy. And if you care about these people and this land, he reaches into his heavy coat and he pulls out
He's got a gun.
piece of parchment, very slowly and deliberately lays it on the ground and puts his hands up. If you care about these people and this land, you will go to the wizard's house.
Read this poem I wrote.
And then you it's a mix.
Sorry,
It's fine. It's a mixtape. Find
yeah. It's just like, I left this little rap sheet for you. It's gonna be awesome.
Find the wizard's house and follow this map. And he throws down a globe of darkness. And
As Drow want to do.
yes,
I will pick up this parchment and look at it. I'm like, "Brr."
You
it
can't see shit in globe. You can't see shit in darkness. Dog.
I mean, no, but he put the parchment down for us to pick up.
the parchment appears to be it looks like a series of caverns mapped through the mountains to the south of East Haven, and some of the landmarks look similar to the landmarks found on the map of one of the drow in the caverns.
Oh.
Some of the reference points seem the same. This new one is much better drawn.
Wait, it looks like the place we were at before?
No, it looks like the piece of paper that we found on the two.
Got
the
it.
map that we found on the two drow. That it looks like that exactly.
Okay.
The points of reference look the same. This one looks a lot better.
More
It's just
detailed.
better detailed.
Yeah.
Do we have an idea, like looking at the map, do we have an idea of where the map is trying to lead us?
It starts more or less south of East Haven, almost due south of East Haven, right as the
Oh, it's all the way
tundra
up there.
kind of turns into the foothills and eventually into the Spine of the World Mountains. And as best you can tell, it goes kind of deep in a southerly direction and then cuts over dramatically west.
Okay. Well,
Is this a more viable route than to attack the Luskan arms? That's the question.
No, this is going to be like a wilderness map through the warehouse, or through the mountains and the tundra. The Bluskin Arms thing is still just kind of sitting over there. You guys got distracted by this moral dilemma and this drow encounter.
okay, so
No longer to be burnt, then the Luskan arms is a lot less appealing as a target, isn't it?
I mean, at this point, we're murderers, and we are probably going to get in trouble with the law, and there's a body in the middle of the street.
That was stabbed.
That was stabbed and then healed and then had his neck broken. So we probably don't want to be here anymore. We should probably go back to Kessel and tell him that someone killed his brother.
Or we do not go back to Kessel and we follow this map.
Well, what would the honorable thing to do? You know, like, wouldn't it be to inform his kin of the tragedy that befell him? I don't know. Seems appropriate.
It seems like you are excited to see his sadness over this.
Actually, I'm not.
I am not.
I'm kind of trying to make a point in that this death is not a good thing.
If he wished it and he received it, it's a good thing.
Well, maybe he should have told his brother that.
He did.
Listen, we've already argued over this point, but the next step we take is kind of important. We can't just stand here in front of a dead body in a city.
Orryn does say, I do think we should inform Kessel. With
How you want to frame it's up to you, but we should let him know.
yeah, we shouldn't let him. He should be the first to know that his brother. He shouldn't find out through news or anything else. We should tell him before the whole town knows.
Should we hide or destroy the body?
Oh, good
No.
God.
That's a good
I mean, for God's, do you want to eat it? Like, um, no. God, I don't know what to do.
I don't even know anymore.
And I don't. As a character, I don't.
Well,
What do you guys want to do?
out of character, the reason why I asked that is if the cult people find him and then realize that he's not going to burn, then they're probably going to be
Right?
upset.
They could just resurrect him and then kill him the way they want to. There's lots of possibilities. They could desecrate his body. They could. I mean,
Yeah, but they can't resurrect him if they don't have all of him.
oh Jesus. I mean, okay, like actually, depending on how powerful the people are, they just need a finger of him to resurrect him. It depends. They probably don't, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I am a bit lost at this point. What should we do?
well, I could carry him back to Kessel, or we can try to do our best to obscure his body and then go back to Kessel and tell him.
Carry him back.
Or we don't have to go back to Kessel like you originally
Yeah,
implied. That's up to you guys. I've made my position clear, but I don't know what to do.
well, Kessel knows what's up. He knows where he was going and how it was going to end. So the point of going
Maybe.
back to Kessel and saying you were correct is moot. We should just follow the map and finish what we need to be.
I mean, I think we should follow this map, but this map looks like it's in East Haven or like south of East Haven. That we basically have to go all the way back we came from. So we're leaving town.
We
Like,
might as well finish what we're over here for.
well, we have multiple directions to go now. Do we go to this place now? Like, basically, we have two things saying we have two separate maps pointing us kind of in the same direction. The drow kind of said it was a wizard. Or do we go like investigate the ship or
Orryn
try and
goes,
rescue that missing? We've got a lot of options.
We have a lot less time pressing on us now that Coral is dead.
Yes,
Okay.
Carl.
Now that we could actually go hit the ship first and then head back.
It would be closest.
Yeah.
Also, I mean,
And we'd be armored and armed potentially
potentially.
with what we find in the map.
The we do also have the situation of if anyone has noticed what's happened here, we might not be able to go back to Targos once we leave.
That's a fair point
Right.
as well.
So if we go and investigate that thing, we might have to like avoid the town. And if news travels fast, we might end up in trouble in multiple towns. Who knows, right? Because like the irony is this situation kind of makes us an enemy to both things. We're potentially lawbreakers, but also the cult might hate us too because we prevented them from doing a sacrifice that they wanted to do. So now we have no allies.
We've already kind of pissed the cult off. They just
I mean, yeah, but not that I want to be on their side, but I'm just saying.
One
I
less
think-
avenue.
I think it's prudent to go to the ship,
Okay.
see if we can arm ourselves or get whatever we can from it, and then tackle the map. And that way it'll keep us out of town for that extended amount of time.
Sure. Okay. That
And we
seems
hide
like a
the
plan.
Okay.
We need to take
We hide
his body to Kessel
Okay.
before we leave.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't think it would be wise to carry a dead man down the streets.
Nobody's been in town. He literally said nobody's
true,
been in the
there's
streets
nobody.
for over a day. Like nothing's
look
gonna
out their
change
window.
now. Like
That's fair. All right. Well, then Jaatuuli will grab him by the head.
no, don't great. Show him some respect, Jaatuuli.
Carry him by the head like a doll. Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
No, I'll take my cloak, and I'll wrap his body in my cloak, and I'll put him over my shoulder and I'll carry him.
All right.
Um,
He is anyway.
You're gonna make your way back up the street
Like a Klingon. The
towards
shell is empty now.
from the more or less in the general direction you came from. As you turn the corner to get onto the main street where Coral's house
Avant-garde's attack.
was, the only real light that is seen is the light
I don't wanna
from
die.
the inside of the house, from the open door, casting Kessel's somber silhouette into the snow, into the street. As you're the only thing moving, he quickly kind of sees and has no change in body language or anything, even from a distance, that everything he's seen is exactly as he expected. And as you get closer, he begins to weep. He has the flower in his hand, and as you kind of bring it closer, he asks you to lower the body a little bit so he can see it. And he tucks the flower just on like the open part of the cloak, and says that the only day a dwarf shouldn't get a flower is at his funeral, and begins to cry. And that's where we will leave it for today, on the very Empire Strikes Back bummer ending. Whoa.
Yay!
Yay!
Womp womp womp.
Oh well.
Wow. Okay. All right. So
You could have just let him not come back to life. Jeez.
moral,
Exactly,
double,
right?
double down on moral dilemmas.
He's fucking my character up. Jesus Christ.
Everybody needs like a solid drink and like a good smoke after that. Like, look, man, am I complicit in a
My
murder? Like,
God.
what's going on? Yeah, but hey, that was something, you guys. That was great.
Teach me to cast Spare the Dying.
Hey man, everybody was into it for the mercy. When I had the title for the name, I didn't think it was going to be an extra mercy and then an extra bit of cruelty thrown in, but that was a nice bonus.
Sure, pumpkin.
Who did the cruelty?
Apparently, I'm the cruel one.
Yeah, well, everybody's pretty bad across the board. That thing was a pretty fucked up situation. Kind of on purpose for my entertainment. But
Drama.
that was
that was quite the enjoyment for you.
All the points of view I expected were expressed. I didn't pin any points of view to anybody particularly, but like everything I expected at least one of you to kind of object to or have a problem with, or at least a thought about. You guys brought it up, so that was as morally troubling as I'd set it out to be. So I'm glad. I don't hope it didn't fuck anybody up emotionally, but if it makes you think, then I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and meet the actual people behind the great characters in this fantastic campaign that we have here, and we'll get out of here and we'll see. Yeah. So let's start with Orryn. Let's do Orryn. Tell us about Landon.
So, I'm Landon. I played Orryn tonight. I love video games. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a software developer, and I'm especially excited with how this campaign's turning out. I think it's really good. Lots of good people, and I've had a lot of fun so far. And I'm also excited because tomorrow, the Baldur's Gate 3, they're gonna do some patch 4 release notes. So good week coming up.
Is it full release or is it still early access?
No, not yet.
No.
I think.
Okay.
They're doing so they say this is going to be the biggest patch they've ever done.
So they're patching a beta.
I don't want to waste too much time.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I think they're going to bring Act 2, because right now out of 3 acts, there's Act 1 is available in beta. I think they're bringing Act 2 in. That's what I think. They haven't said they were, but they said this is the biggest that ever done as far as a patch. So
Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
and they're going to talk about it tomorrow. I think I won't waste. I won't waste
You're fine, buddy. I was
Sorry.
like, I'm glad you're excited. All right,
yeah.
Jaatuuli, tell us about Tenta.
I'm Tenta. I played Jaatuuli today. I love wrestling and death metal, and you can get a hold of me at Rip Tenta Squeeze on Twitter, and we could talk about those things, or we could laugh about how many faces Jaatuuli has eaten in the small campaign.
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you going to keep like an accurate count, or are we just going to go in a couple of weeks be like, dozens?
I'd like to get to the point where it's just all blends together.
Okay. All right. Well,
They're just all the faces that have been eaten.
yeah, just leaving a face of like half crushed skulls all through Icewind Dale. Whatever this curse was, it didn't like people's faces. Awesome.
I just imagine like a investigator coming in and being like, another corpse, half of its skull has been bitten off. I wonder who did this. Serial killer strikes again.
The
face biter.
The anthropology of Icewind Dale 500 years from now is going to be very interesting. Everybody's missing a face. There was like a seance. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. This place is crazy. All right, let's go to our morally troubled cleric and have Kelroth tell us about Dustin.
I am Dustin. I played Kelroth tonight. I am playing sort of the overbearing, thinks too much about everything kind of character, apparently. But no, I've never been a player before. I've done a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. I've been a dungeon master exclusively, so it's fun to be on the other side, so to speak. I play a lot of video games. I do a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm currently trying to start up a Star Wars tabletop role-playing game.
Fantasy Flight Games?
And yeah, that's what I got going on.
Um,
I haven't decided yet. That's the problem.
Okay.
I've got like the bulk work of the like game set up. Different one. Don't know yet.
Okay. I'm kind of looking into Fantasy Flight Games. My wife got me the dice for my birthday, so I'm very
I've heard
intrigued.
good things. Yeah, I've heard good things, but it's just like you have to like.
It's just a totally different thing.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
So
that's all.
But yeah, man, tune in. We might do something with that as soon as I learn. And last but not least, our heroic re-killing monk. Sure. Baldr, tell us about Lewis.
I'm Lewis. I played Baldr this evening, who apparently is, a little more cold-blooded than everybody was thinking to the outside.
Maybe
not. Maybe not. You never know. And, I am, like everybody else, I am big into, video games and other things like that. I'm an Xbox guy, so, if anybody Xbox out there, I'm an Xbox gamer, so look for me on there. But if not, I'm on here on the GrowedUpGeek channel, playing D&D or ready for anything else.
All right. And I am Manny, the GrowedUpGeek, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. When I'm not a caterer by day, I dungeon master these fabulous gentlemen for this amazing game. I play on Monday nights on the Wily Hobbit Twitch channel. I play Algernon Altano, a kind of interesting divination wizard who, in the metagame, just wants to destroy his DM's fun by giving important dies, and that's just how it goes. And then coming soon to here, we will be expanding to a second stream on Wednesday nights, probably starting in about a month from now. And they will be based on short narratives and one-shots. Chance to get us some new people here on the channel to play with us. And this way it keeps everything fresh without having to commit to a full-time second campaign. So look for that in a month. In the meantime, thanks for watching tonight. It really means the world to me and to us that you come out and check us out. In the meantime, check us out next week, 7 p.m. Tuesday night for episode 7 of Twilight Malediction. And until then, everybody take it easy, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
See you later.